Guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sarah. I post videos about travel and currently pregnancy updates. So tomorrow I will be 38 weeks pregnant. I can't even believe that we are here already. And in the last update that I did, I was 32 weeks. So I have a couple weeks to catch you guys up on. I'm mainly going to be talking about weeks 35, 36, and 37 because nothing out of the ordinary really happened in the weeks prior to that. So let's just jump right into it. So since week, I think 34, I've actually been having weekly ultrasounds and weekly appointments just because of some health concerns I've had. And you know, it's been great to see the baby every week, but it is also a little bit, stressful because they are doing a biophysical profile every time, which means they are checking for certain markers. So such as like how often the baby is moving and my fluid levels and my placenta and the tone of the baby and all of these things that are outside of what I actually know about. But you kind of really get to know the ultrasound text really well. At least at my hospital, I have the same one every time, which has been awesome. And so in week 35, this little girl in my belly decided that she didn't want to move around as much as she usually did. And these ultrasound appointments actually are always scheduled for 30 minutes, which is great because it gives them a lot of time to check everything. And she just would not move. And she had been moving that morning. And I think all night long. The ultrasound tech had some M&Ms, which she even offered me. I got up, I was doing like stretches and hopping around, and she just wouldn't do all the movements that the ultrasound techs needed to see. So what that means is, after that I went to my OB-GYN, because they're in the same, like I go and I have a ultrasound, and then I immediately afterwards will visit with my OB-GYN, and she'll kind of go over the results of the ultrasound with me, see if I have any questions, things like that. So it's really been easy. Even though I've had these additional appointments, it's been nice because my OB-GYN is actually in a hospital, so everything is in one spot. Anyway, so as soon as I got into the OB-GYN's room, the baby started moving, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Because they had already warned me that I would probably have to go upstairs to labor and delivery and have an NST done, which is like a non-stress test, I believe. I never have had to do one of these before. I didn't really know what to expect. So my OB-GYN said, yeah, just because, at week 35, we want to make sure she's moving. She's like, I believe you that you say she is, but we kind of need to see it. So I went upstairs to labor and delivery, and first I got hooked up to, the monitors that you get hooked up to when you have a baby, which one is they're checking to see if you're having any contractions. And then the other one is actually on the baby, measuring the baby's heart rate. And then I had a little button. Every time that she would move, I needed to push the button. And they measured this for a span of like 20 minutes. So even though I knew that she was moving and all of this, it was really weird to be in this labor and delivery room because the only time that I had ever been in this ward was as I was checking in for my C-section with Sophie. So it's like you start to get thoughts going through your head, and it just, it was fine, but I definitely, had I known, I would have maybe done some more acrobatics to try to get her to move for the ultrasound tech. So after they did the non-stress test and I confirmed that the baby was moving, I had to wait for another ultrasound tech to come in and check again, and the baby was moving and everything was fine, and I got to leave. But the whole ordeal ended up taking like 3 hours. So ladies, if you guys are ever gonna have a non-stress test, just know it's gonna be a while. You're gonna be in that room for a while because they are not at your beck and call like at your OB-GYN's office. You have to wait for them to do, their rounds and to come and check on you. So that was week 35. That was very interesting. So week 36, I made sure before that ultrasound appointment, I had some caffeine. I think I had like a Nutella sandwich or something with a lot of sugar to make sure that that girl would move, and she did. And 36 weeks was also my first cervical check where unfortunately no progress, but that's kind of to be expected at 36 weeks. So I asked my doctor if there was anything that I could be doing to try and get the party started because we're on a deadline. Essentially, I have a C-section scheduled for right after 40 weeks because it's going to be a VBAC, and my doctor does not feel comfortable with me going past 40 weeks, unfortunately. There are a lot of reasons behind this, but ultimately I trust my OB-GYN and I know that she just has what's best for me in store. But another interesting thing about week 36 is I actually went and saw the chiropractor for the first time, and I was a little bit skeptical of this, but a lot of my friends have said that the chiropractor helped them so much with their tailbone pain and sciatic nerve pain and things like that. And I was like, you know what? My insurance covers it. I'm willing to try anything at this point because I was having a lot of tailbone pain. As I've mentioned in previous videos, I work an office job, so I sit all day long. So there's really no way to get around that. And because of some additional round ligament pain that I've been having, like walking is hard. Like going for walks and things like that I would usually do just to, you know, be as active as possible, just really painful. So I'm going on maybe like 20 to 30 minute walks, but in severe pain. So anyway, I went to see a chiropractor. It was the craziest thing. If you guys go, you definitely want to make sure that they specialize in something called Webster technique, which is specific to pregnant women. So to my understanding, not every chiropractor can or should practice on a pregnant woman because there are certain movements that you can do and can't do. So it was really interesting. Let me know in the comments below if you guys have more questions about that. I wouldn't mind making a video on that as well. It was very cool. And I can say I've been, I think 4 or 5 times now since then, and it has definitely helped. You know, you're carrying around 30 pounds of extra weight. Like there's gonna be some discomfort. There's literally a baby pushing down on your cervix. But I can say the tailbone pain has lessened and some of the sciatic nerve pain that was pulling from my lower back has lessened. So, you know, I definitely think it's worth giving a try. And what I thought was super interesting is they treat babies as well. Like certain chiropractors will treat babies. So if you have a baby that has colic, or anything, you think anything might be out of alignment from, you know, birth and labor, you know, they apparently can adjust babies too. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about this past week, week 37. So at my weekly ultrasound appointment, everything looked good. The baby did everything that she was supposed to be doing. They actually measured the baby again, which they hadn't done since I believe 32 weeks. So baby is now in the 70th percentile. So she's still really average, which was great. My fluids looked good. I think they said she was measuring right at 7 pounds 2 ounces, which take that with a grain of salt. My OB-GYN even made it a point to say, you know, there's like a 20% swing on the correctness of that. But still, you know, I was like, okay, if she's 7 pounds, that explains why my vagina hurts all the time. So she did another cervical check on me and she said she did feel like it was softening, but there still wasn't any progress. So I went to the store and I bought all the pineapple and all the dates and the raspberry leaf tea and all the things. I have a birthing ball that I've been bouncing on. So it'll be really interesting to see at tomorrow's 38-week appointment if I've made any progress. And I definitely understand that, you know, for some women, they're dilated at a 3 for weeks and weeks and weeks and still end up having to have a C-section. And then there's other women that, you know, have no progress and then overnight, you know, their water breaks and they go into labor and they're able to have the baby naturally, or I guess vaginally, I should say. So there's still hope for me, but like I mentioned earlier, I do have a C-section scheduled for March 18th. So if baby doesn't come on her own by then, that is my due date. So if you guys have any advice, leave it in the comments below on how to get this baby to drop and get this baby out of me, because man, I would really like to get to experience like a normal labor and not have to have a C-section again. I think that would be so wonderful, so cool to get to experience. So any advice would be appreciated. But that's all I have for this update, you guys. Okay, so before I finish off this video, I'm going to show you guys a quick bump update. This is my almost 38-week belly. So, feeling large and in charge. It's like an optical illusion. It's like from the front and then bow. Like I said, I have another doctor's appointment tomorrow, so I'll probably update you guys again right around 39 or 40 weeks, just depending on what baby girl does. But next week I have a what's in my hospital bag video planned, because am I wrong, or are some people packing crazy stuff in their hospital bags? Now granted, I've done this before, but like, why are people taking a breast pump to the hospital? I don't understand. Or like, why are they taking a peri bottle and like pads and things to the hospitals? Like, the hospital gives you all of that. Why would you take that? But that's just me. So I will be sharing my very simple hospital bag that I'm taking, including what I am packing for the baby. So if you guys are interested, please hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.